So week 2, measurement capacity, we on surface area. Now we're going to run through these surface area formulas. Why? Because I want you guys to be fully aware of these formulas, even though they give them to you. Yes, they do give them to you, but I want you to be fully aware of them so that you know where everything goes in these formulas. All right. So when they're referring to certain letters in the formula, you know what is what and what goes where. Okay. So the first 3D shape we have here, rectangular prism, obviously. And we need to work out the surface area of a rectangular prism. Now, surface area is the outside area of the shape. So if you open this rectangular prism up to create the net, we call this a net, you should see a whole lot of 2D shapes. All right, so if you open a 3D object up and flatten it out, you will see a whole lot of 2D shapes, flat 2D shapes. And surface area is calculating the area of all of these and adding them all up. Okay, so for a rectangular prism, let's look at the 3D shape first of all. All right, so here's the 3D shape here. Obviously, for 3 dimensions, we need length, width, and height, or length, breadth, and height, or whichever you want to call it. And if you open up this rectangular prism, it creates this net here of the rectangular prism. And inside here, you see letters. All right, for example, if I want to calculate the area of this rectangular shape here on the front, okay, that's this one here. To work out that one's area, I'm going to say length times height. Okay, because the height is also over here. All right, so it's length times height for that shape. There's another one at the back as well. You got to know that. So there's 2 of those, this yellowish or orangey color. Okay, there they are over there. And then we know that this box or square shape here on the front, right? There's 2 of those. There they are. That's width times height. And then on the top here, all right, that rectangle on the top, there's one there and there's one there. Okay. It would become cubed when you combine them. If you multiply them out, it would become cubed. All right, and that's volume. But surface area, this is a 2D shape here. And so the units will be something like centimeters squared, for example. Okay, for 3 dimensions, your units will be centimeters cubed. Okay, that's volume. All right. So the 3D shape can have a volume, but if you take that 3D shape and wrap it up in paper or open it up and flatten it out, that's surface area. And that is an area, that's 2 dimensions. So the units will look like centimeters squared. Okay, so you'll see that now when we do questions, how it looks in the end. But what you need to know and what you should remember for these 3D shapes and their surface area is how many sides do these 3D objects have? We can see here that a rectangular prism has got a rectangle at the front, rectangle at the back. This pink one here at the front and one at the back. This green one here at the top and one at the bottom. So there's 6 sides to this thing. 6 sides, and each little side is a 2D shape with an area. Yes, it's 6 sides. So you've got to work out the area of all 6 sides and add them all up to get the total surface area. So the surface area formula for this shape, we'll say SA for surface area, will be, I want the length times height rectangle, excuse me, length times height, but there's 2 of them. So I'm going to put a bracket and put a 2 in front to say I need 2 of those, okay? Plus, I need the pink square in the front, which is width times height. All right. But I need 2 of those. Okay, so let me just move this over slightly to fit my 2 in. Okay, so I need 2 of those. And then I need the green rectangle on the top, which is length times width. And there's one at the top, one at the bottom, so there are 2 of those. Okay, so the surface area formula for a rectangular prism could look something like this. Sometimes it looks a bit different, especially if the rectangular prism is a cube. It will look different. Yeah, it looks like the CD is having sound problems there. it'll look a little bit different. So for a cube, a perfect cube shape, all right, where all the sides are the same, all right, a perfect cube, the surface area, let's say, you see, because all the sides are the same, it'll be length and length and length. Well, it looks like an E actually. Length, it'll be 6 length times length. All right, something like that. They don't often show you that formula in an exam situation. They sometimes give you the long one instead. But if you see it like this, it's because it's a cube and all the sides are the same. All right, just remember they give you these formulas. I don't want to go into too much detail here. I want to go to the questions. I'm just showing you the formulas and which sides go where and what the letters mean. That's the most important thing. There are 6 sides you have to work out. What are the letters and where do they go in this formula here? All right, so that's why I'm doing this little intro into the surface area of each of the prisms. Okay. All right, let's move on to the cylinder. Okay, so the rectangular prism is easy. The cylinder is also quite easy, except for we're dealing with circles. Okay, so here is a cylinder. All right, I need to make this a bit smaller. It's a little bit big. I can actually zoom out. All right, it's too much. All right, so there is the cylinder. Okay, and the cylinder, when you flatten that out, gives you 3 shapes, right? It gives you 2 circles. Whoopsie. It gives you 2 circles. Let me zoom out a little bit more. Too much. 2 circles and a rectangle. Okay, now there's something in here that we need to talk about. All right, we got a circle on the top. We got a circle at the base. And then we have the outside of the cylinder. Think of a Coke can, right? Coke can's got a circular top and a circular base. If you cut the top off and you take the base off, you're just left with this like cup that's got no top and no bottom. If you cut down the side of that and open it up, you will see a rectangular piece. Okay, so a cylinder opens up into 2 circles and 1 rectangle. Okay, so we have to work out 3 shapes. 2 circles, there they are, and then 1 rectangle. All right, circles are easy. We know the formula for circles. Okay, they are pi r squared. All right, the area of that circle is pi r squared, and the area of this circle down here, also pi r squared. So we need 2 pi r squareds. Now, the tricky part here is in the rectangle. Now, we know that every rectangle, to work out its area, we need length times breadth or width, okay? In this case, it's called a height. Because the cylinder is standing up, they call it a height. If the cylinder was standing on its side, was lying on its side, they would give it a different name. It doesn't matter what they call it. It's 2 dimensions that you need to multiply, all right? The long part at the bottom times the other part on the side there. I'm calling it length and breadth. They're calling it something else. Okay. Yes, Jasmine, you're on the right track. Yes. We're not going to do length times breadth here, no. But that's the idea. A rectangle, you times 2 dimensions together. Usually it's length and breadth or length and width, but in this case, they're called something else. Okay. Now, the height dimension on the side here is easy to understand. It's this thing at the bottom that's a little bit difficult. 2 pi r. Why do they say 2 pi r? You can tell me, why do they say 2 pi r for this length here at the bottom? Why do they call it 2 pi r? What is 2 pi r actually? Does anyone know? You can raise your hand, you can unmute you, and you can tell us. What does the 2 pi r actually mean? Where are they getting it from? Anyone have an idea? Somebody?
Anybody?
Anybody?
Somebody?
Somebody? Yes, Ben, you're on the right track. It's got to do with a circle. Okay. So if you look at the dotted line around the can. Tando. Tando's there. Tando, let's see. Is Tando still there? Oh, Tando's gone. There we go.
Good day,
Tando, how are
sir.
you? I'm good. How are you?
I'm good and I'm good, sir.
Good. Where did we get this 2 per hour from? What is that thing?
We got it from that circle because a circle has 2 pi r and the base. And also the
Okay.
height.
Yeah, okay. So it is part of a circle, all right? It's the dotted line. Look at the cylinder on the left. It's the dotted line. When you go around
Yes.
around the edge of a circle, not the area of a circle, the edge, the line around the circle, the perimeter of a circle. It's got a fancy name. What is that?
Yes.
Like Jasmine says, the perimeter of a circle. What's the other fancy name for perimeter of a circle? Starts with a C.
A cube.
All right.
No, it
Anyone?
is not a cube.
No, it's a C. Anyone know? There we go. The guys in the chat are helping you out there. They're saying circumference.
Circumference.
Yes, circumference. So circumference, the formula for circumference is C equals 2 pi r. So that
Per
dotted
r.
line, all right, yeah, 2 pi r. So the dotted line around the cylinder, okay, if you think about it, you take the Coke can, you cut down the side, you open it up, the circumference of the Coke can now becomes the length of this rectangular shape. You see?
Yes, sir.
All
It
right,
looks
excellent.
like a can of a Coca-Cola.
Yeah.
That's
And
how it is.
you open up the sides, and this bottom side here will be 2 pi r for the circumference. So it's the circumference of the can. Okay.
Thanks, sir.
All right. Thank you, Tando. Okay, so the this 2 pi r here is actually the circumference of the cylinder. Okay, so we need that to calculate the rectangle. So to build the formula now, we're going to say surface area is equal to, we got two circles, their area is pi r squared, but I need two of them, one at the top, one at the bottom, plus I need the 2 pi r. There it is. All right, I like to use brackets, guys. Don't throw stones at me. I like to use brackets. Times height. Okay, so that's the formula for the circumference, for the surface area of a cylinder. All right, I hope you guys understand that. Now we're going to move on to the one which I think is the most challenging. The good news is you hardly ever, in fact, I've seen it maybe once, you hardly ever get this thing in the exam. All right, but it can pop up. So we're going to cover it tonight before we move on to the questions. All right. Bianca, stay with me. Don't go. Stay with me. Don't leave us yet. I'm going to help you out. All right. So first of all, there's lots of letters here, which is Bianca's like, oh my gosh, all these letters, I'm out of here. Let's make sense of it all. Let's count how many shapes we have, right? We've got a triangle in the front. Okay. A triangle. What's the formula for the area of a triangle? You can tell me. Back to trigonometry. Okay, let me go up quickly. While I'm going up for a screenshot, who can tell me what's the formula for an area of a triangle? There we go. Letabile, there we go. Ben, yes. Half the base times the perpendicular height. Okay. Half the base times the perpendicular height. The topic will make sure, I promise you. All right, so there, take a screenshot of that. Half the base times the perpendicular height. Okay, all right, I'm going to go down to this horrible looking thing again. Okay, so in this triangle, they've given us lines to help us with that. Okay, this side here, S2, can be our base. All right, and then this line here going up perpendicular from the base is the height of that triangle there. So those two lines will be needed. And that red line that I've just drawn is this height here. You see that arrow, that dimension? They've given it to us there on the side. Okay. Don't worry, Pumalila, don't worry. Just remember the YouTube channel has the lesson recorded, so you can go back for the first part. Don't stress. All right. So we need two of those triangles. There's one in the front and there's one at the back. Now, the sides of the triangular prism, I don't know if you can see it, but we've got a rectangle, right? This blue shaded 2D shape here is a rectangle. Not only do we have a rectangle there, we've got a rectangle on the other side. There it is there. All right. There's another rectangle. Not only that, we got one at the bottom. We've got three rectangles we've got to take care of. And we all know the formula for the area of a rectangle is length times breadth. Okay. All right. Now let's put this thing together. Okay. Let's put this thing together. We don't say trigonometry in this class. It's a swear word. All right. Forget about core maths. We're leaving that thing. So we got two triangles and three rectangles. All right. So let me do the two triangles first. There's two of them. I'm going to say 2 and then open my brackets. And like you guys said, I need half times the base. Oopsie. Half times the base times the height. Okay. Those are my triangles covered. All right. Now, the rectangles can be tricky. If this triangle here in the front is an equilateral triangle where all the sides are the same, they often show you the formula in a different way. But let's pretend that all the sides are different and we'll deal with it bit by bit. Okay. So we're going to pretend all the sides of the triangle are different, which means I need this side first, which has S3 over there and L. The letters they gave me are S3 and L. So I'm using those. All right. So I'm going to say I need an S3. That's its name. Times L. Because it's a rectangle. It's like length times breadth. But instead of breadth, I've got S3, unfortunately. Okay. I'm going to move this formula over because it's actually quite big. All right. I need some space for this thing. Whoopsie. I see that hand. I'm going to come to you now. Just moving my formula over because I'm going to add some more to it over here. Let's make it a little bit smaller as well. All right. There's a hand. All right. Check your screen. Yes.
Hello.
Hello. How you doing?
I'm good in yourself. I'm good in yourself, sir.
Good. What's up?
Good. Oh, so I have a question. You said like, okay, write the formula for a rectangle is length times breadth, ne?
Yeah.
Length times breadth. So why instead of saying length times breadth, we say S3?
Okay. This is the confusing part about triangular prisms. We are used to length times breadth. If we just saw a 2D shape, if they just gave you a question with a rectangle like this, they will name it the things that you are used to, length and breadth or length and width. But this triangular prism has got all kinds of shapes. It's got 5 shapes on it. All right. Now, you see this L here.
That represents length, right?
That's length. That's the length of this rectangle, this blue rectangle. Yeah. All right. So if they put a W here,
that represents width.
That could be the width that we know is the width. All right. What would they put on the What would they put on the other side of this triangle? What? W2.
The other side of the triangle.
Yeah. What, like a W2 or a different letter?
Oh, because there are two rects, there are two triangles, right?
Yeah.
It's because they put W2 because there are two triangles, or is it like?
So these numbers here, which is probably what is the confusing part, is to show you that the triangle has got 3 different sides to it.
Oh, 3 different sides. Oh,
yes.
Not because okay,
so
I get it now.
So the triangle's got 3 different sides. So they called this side S for side 3, side 3.
So side 1, side 2, and side 3.
Side 3 of the triangle. Yes, that's it.
Yes, of the triangle. Okay.
Okay. So we are working out this blue rectangle here first. And to do that, we
Yes.
need the 2 dimensions. We need the L, which they gave us there,
Yes.
and we need this one. We
Which is
know
the
this is
length.
the width, but they called it S3.
S3, yes.
Okay.
Now we need to figure that out.
Okay, so we're going to have to work that out. Now stay with me. I need
Okay.
another rectangle. Am I right?
Yes, you need to write out that rectangle, sir.
All right. So I'm drawing. This is the rectangle that I want to work out now. Yeah.
Yes, the first one. Yes, I can see it. Yes.
Okay. Okay. What is
Yes.
this? What is this side called? This line here.
That would be like
The same as this
the
one.
length.
The length is the same as that one,
Yes.
right? So that's also length, right?
Yes.
And then I need
That's
this
length.
side.
Yes.
I need this side here, don't I?
Yes, that would also be the width or the breadth.
There'll be the width of the breadth, but they calling it
S1.
S1. Whatever they call it,
Yes.
that's what I'm going to put in. So I'm going to say
Oh,
S1
okay.
times
Okay.
length. You with me?
S1 times. Yes, I get you. I get you.
Okay, what's the last bracket going to have inside it?
So it's gonna have S1, S2 times length.
Absolutely. You're on the money.
Yes. Yes.
S2 times length. You're on the
Yes.
money. Well
Thank
done.
you.
Thank you,
No
young man.
problem. Thank you.
All right. Okay. So we've got three rectangles. If you look at the plan or the net on the right hand side here, okay, there's one, and there's one. So I need 3 rectangles. Okay, so in this net here, the length is the same for all 3 rectangles. It's just these sides here, or the widths of those rectangles that we need. And those widths come from the triangle sides. Okay, that's why they call them S. Those widths must come from the triangle sides. Okay, so we say side 1 of the triangle, side 2 of the triangle, and side 3 of the triangle. Okay, all right. So it's a horrible looking formula. All right, I know it's horrible. Thank goodness they give it to you. You don't have to remember it, but you need to know which number goes in where. Okay, that's the only difficult part, is which number goes in. Does the position of the sides matter? No. This side S3 can be S1 and the bottom one can be S2. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter which one goes first. It doesn't matter which S you put inside the formula first. As long as you put one side of the triangle times the length, then the other side of the triangle times the length, and then the third side of the triangle times the length, you'll have covered all 3 rectangles in your formula. Right. They give you this formula, ladies and gentlemen. I'm only worried about what they name these things here. These letters might look a little bit different. They might look different in the exam. That's all I'm worried about. And then you guys will say, oh, but I learned S1, S2, S3, and length. They might look a bit different in the exam. I'm just warning you now. As long as you know that you need 3 rectangles and 2 triangles in that whole formula, and you got to make sure that you've covered all of them. Okay, they give you the formula. You've got to take the letters in the diagram or the dimensions in the diagram and put them in the right place in the formula. But like I said before, they hardly ever give you the triangular prism because it creates so much confusion with the sides. Usually it's rectangular prisms. In fact, I think we see more cylinders than anything else. All right. So as long as your cylinders and rectangular prisms are good, you should be hitting about 90% of the drawings. You'd sometimes see this thing, but not often. Okay. But there's the formula there at the bottom. They give it to you. Just make sure you know where the letters go. All right. Let's take a break. Oh, letters and variables and letters. Oh my gosh, we're trying to get away from core maths, and yeah, they come again with these letters. But at least they give us the formulas, right?
Hello, sir.
Yes.
So on Tuesday, I was trying to log in, but it wasn't allowing me.
Oh no, man. Is that Mohammed?
Yes.
Mohammed, what you can do is on the Watobe website, there's a
I'm
phone
using
number.
Zoom.
Yeah, But you usually get the link via the website, don't you?
Yeah, but it wasn't
Okay.
logging in. I don't know what was happening.
Were you able to log into the website?
Nothing was working. Zoom, the website, nothing was working. I don't know
Hello.
why.
Okay, hold on a second. So, Mohammed, if you look on the website, never mind logging in. If you look on the website, they've got a WhatsApp number
Hello.
there that you can contact for assistance. All right.
Yeah, I think
So,
I messaged it. I was
yeah,
messaging it.
that's the best thing to do. That's the best thing to do. So you message that number and tell them that you can't log in, and they're trying. There's like a team of people there at this time of the day to try and make sure that people can log in.
Okay. Thank you,
All
sir.
right. And just
And
remember that
sir,
the recording is on. It'll be on the YouTube channel. Hey.
there's a YouTube channel.
Yeah. Yes. YouTube
What's
channel.
it?
Every lesson that we do is recorded and posted on the YouTube channel. So you go to YouTube, you type in Watobe, it'll show you Watobe's YouTube channel. Every lesson that we do is put up there. So if you miss anything, you can always go and check the video on the YouTube channel.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
All right. Okay. Guys are like, sir, come on, let's get cracking. All right. Oh, all right, here we go. Let's dive into this pool. Let's swim. Let's get in the water. Yeah, and the last question I have, there's a trick to it. I want to see if people can pick up. All right, so here's the first question. All right, let's read it together. Ntando, I think it's a day or two, hey. I think it's a day or two. They're pretty quick. There's a person that especially does that that takes the recordings, edits them, and puts them onto the channel. So that's their job, is to do that. So it happens pretty quickly. All right, so let's have a look. As a result of load shedding, yes, we know, Wayne. Wayne, the chicken farmer, goes back to using a generator to provide dependable power for his chicken sheds and his farmhouse. That's immaterial to us. Who it is, what it's for, doesn't matter. There's a tank here. It has a radius of 1 meter. We're going to need that. It has a length of 2 meters, and it stores a fuel. All right, so we've got 2 dimensions for this thing. All right, who cares about the chickens and load shedding? We just need the dimensions for this thing. First question is, calculate the surface area of the tank in meters squared. Now, the first thing I will check is that my units on the diagram are meters, and they want the surface area in meters squared. So I don't have to change any units here. I can just gooi everything into the formula and go. They say, yeah, use the formula. 2 pi r squared plus 2 pi rh, which looks pretty much exactly the same as the one I've just showed you guys. Okay, r is a radius, h is the height, and pi is 3,14. Not 3,142. Be careful, 3,14. Use what they give you. All right. It should take you about 2 minutes to throw the numbers in and to get the surface area for this thing. I'll let you guys do it on your own, and then we're going to check the answer. So 2 minutes for this. Quickly calculate it. It shouldn't take long. And then we'll compare the answers. Nice and easy, this one to start with. Katlego, it's a good point. Why not 3,142? I don't know. 3,142 is the norm. In fact, in the old days, about 10 years ago, they used to leave that number off, and we used to use pi from the calculator, which is 3,142, blah, 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 blah. It's a long, never-ending decimal. So now the norm is 3,142, but you sometimes see 3,14. Whatever they give you, you use. You go according to, like Kia says, you go according to the question. Whatever they give you, that's what you use. You do what they ask, even if it doesn't make sense. All right, we should have some answers popping up. Either put an answer or say you're done, just to let me know that you guys are finished, and then we can go over this one. All right, everyone should be trying. It's nice and easy. It's just plug and play. Throw the numbers in, get the calculator to work for you. You don't have to. You don't have to use brackets. I like to use brackets. Like, for example, in this formula, personal preference of mine, I would have put brackets around there, and I would have put brackets around there. But the calculator knows that for all the times the multiplication, it'll do that first anyway. Yeah, make sure you read the scenario. So all this stuff here about chickens and farmers, not really useful to us. It was just these dimensions here, and they're on the diagram, so we're good to go. Awesome. So guys, I've finished already. All right, a ton of there with a value. Brunello says, okay, I'm done. All right, we got different answers. Oh, I love it. I love it when we get different answers. Okay, we got decimal differences, that's which is rounding. Okay, maybe someone's using a different par. Cloud says he's done. We got Oratilia says he's done. Ben's done. Oh, we got different answers. I love it. It's fun. As long as you attempt the question, that's the most important thing, because when I write it on the screen now, you look at mine, you look at yours. If there's a difference, where is the difference? You correct it and you learn from that. It's the best way to learn. Okay. All right. It looks like most of you got this done. So let's try this one out. All right. Yes. Good. Right. Let's have a look. So we got a 2 times a par, which they say is 3,14 times the radius is given to us nice and easy. It's 1 squared. All right. Plus, I'm going to do all that. I like using brackets. Don't shoot me. Okay. Plus the second part of this is a 2 times a par, which is 3,14 times a radius, which is 1 times a height, which they say is 2. All right, there's all our numbers in. Plug and play. You put all the numbers in, pull out this device that you paid for, and it must come work for you now. All right, so here we go. 2 times 3.14 times 1 squared. We all know 1 squared is 1, but let's just do it anyway. 1 squared, and I'm adding that to the second half of this, which is 2 times 3,14 times 1 times 2. All right. Plug and play. Press equals 18.84. 18.84. All right. Now I know people are saying, hold on. Why am I getting 18.85 something? I think the people that are getting 18.85 are using pi as 3,142. All right, check what I have written there in my formula. I've substituted all the values in. Check what I have. You should have that on your calculator. All right, there it is on my calculator. I'll go through it. 2 times 3,14 times 1 squared. Second part is 2 times 3,14 times 1 times 2. That should give you 18.84. Are there any questions? Oh, Bianca, you see, you wanted to run away. Now look at you. Killing it. Any questions about this? Are there no one's wants to ask, why am I getting where was it? 18.85. 18.85. See, like Jasmine got 18.84956. Jasmine, why do you think it's different? Is it the par? Let's try it out. Let's put it in that par. Let's put in that par. Let's put in the par that we all know and see what it does. All right. So let's go back here and I'll change to the par that we all know, which is a normal reaction for you. That's what you normally do. Put in the 3,142, press equals. Ah, that gives me 18.852. Maybe that's where the 85 comes in here. All right. But you mustn't put in 3,142. You do what the question says. All right. So it should be 18.84. Yeah. All right, so please remember you put in exactly what the question gives you. I know it's normal reaction. You're used to 3,142, but it's going to give you a slightly different answer. Be careful of that. Okay. Any questions or can we move on?
Hi, sir.
Yes.
So sir, I just wanted to ask, why is the radius squared, and why did you have to times it to the power of 1?
To the power of 1. Okay, so I'll tell you first of all why the radius is squared. So if you look at the formula here, there in the formula is r to the power of 2, radius squared. Okay, so that's this part here in my equation when I put that in. The radius is 1, so I put in 1 to the power of 2 there. This r here in the second half of the formula, this r here is this 1 here. All right, so it's not squared or cubed or anything, just r, which is 1. So I just put a 1 in there. All right. So that's why I've got 1 squared in the first bracket and just a 1 in the second bracket. The 2 is the height. Okay, so the 2 is the height in the equation there. Does that help you out?
Yes, sir. Thank you.
All right, pleasure. Yeah, Jasmine, you see, so in the old days, we used to use power on the calculator. Then we got this new thing of 3,142. But this question, for some reason, they decided to use 3,14. All right, yes, we have another question. Mama.
Sorry, sir. You can call me Lutando Luetz. That's if my name is so difficult to pronounce.
Isn't it right?
No, it's it's not. You can just say Lutando.
I'll try to remember that. I'll try to remember that. Okay.
Okay. So my question is, Nan. So right, you said it's two times. We see for the what the previous person said about the radius squared, right?
Yeah.
Is it okay if I say like, okay, like let's say we say, and right, radius squared represents like the number repeating itself twice,
Yeah.
basically. So if I say like 2 times 3,1414 times 1, is it still
Same
going to
thing.
be correct?
It
Same
will be
thing.
correct. It's the same thing. 1
Okay.
times 1 is 1 squared. It will be the same.
Same thing.
It will.
Okay, thank you. Thank
All
you.
right.
That's all I wanted to know. Because I
No
don't want to
problem.
do that. And the next thing in the test is a different answer.
Well, you can try it. You can test it out and see. So we
Yeah.
got 18,84. Test it out, and on the calculator, it'll be very quick to test it out, and you see if you should get the same answer.
Okay.
All
Thank
right.
you.
Good. Thanks for the question. All right. Any other questions? All right. Okay. We are moving on. Moving on. Hey, I want to get to this one at the end because there's a little thing in there that. All right. Here we go. Question 2. Calculate the quantity of paint in liters needed to paint both the outside of the tank and the stand. Round off your answer to the nearest liter. Now, I know what you're asking. Sir, if you want us to convert from volume to capacity, you got to give us a conversion. You're absolutely right. Let me give you a conversion now. Hold on a second. I'll get one for you now. This question doesn't have it. All right, hold your horses. I'll be with you in a second. Okay, here it comes. So one meter squared, whoopsie, equals a thousand. Hold on. 1 meter squared is 1,000 liters of paint. No, that doesn't look right. No, that's wrong. Sorry. It's in this case 1 square meter of area to paint. We'll use 1 liter of paint. Let's use that conversion. All right. Okay, so we need to work out the quantity of paint in liters needed to paint both the outside of the tank and the stand. Round off your answer to the nearest liter. Oh, but guys, this is too easy. You don't have information about the stand. Oh, all right, so we're going to change this to a 2-mark question, a nice easy 2-mark question, an easy straight answer. All right, so we're just going to do the tank. Yeah, if it was a 1 square meter is 1,000, then it will be thousands of liters. But let's just go to a straight 1-to-1 conversion. Yeah, all right, that should be easy for you. 2-mark question. I haven't got information about the stand. They should have given it to in the question. Yep. All right, really as simple as that. All right, we've got 18. We've got 18,84 square meters to paint, and if it's a 1-to-1 relationship, then we just need 18,84 liters. Nice and easy. All right, so they should give you, yes, they should give you a conversion to help you with this question. All right, they have to give you a conversion. If they want the liters, they've got to give you something like this. You are not expected to know how much paint you need to paint 1 square meter. So I'm giving you, if it's a 1-to-1 thing. Ah, Lutando is hitting back with, hold on, sir. You're not done. Lutando's hitting back with, sir, don't rush off now. You're not done, because they said to the nearest liter, which means we need to be 19 liters. Thank you, Lutando. Yes. Here's my question to you. We do need to round off to the nearest liter. Now, I want to highlight something here. When they say round off to the nearest liter, what if, I'm going to just delete this quickly. What if we didn't have 8,4, for example? I'm just changing it slightly, just as a matter of fact, and we had 3,4. What should we round off to? 18. Okay, so this would be 18, right? The nearest liter would be 18. Okay, you're absolutely right. It should be 18. Now, in questions like this, you guys are right, it should be 18. Now listen carefully. In questions like this, where you need paint to finish a project, the person who's setting the question, oh, hold on. We have a person asking a question. Lutando, check your screen there. There we go.
Hi.
Lutando, hey Lutando, how are you?
Good, thanks, and you?
Good. What's the question?
I wanted to ask, would it not be 19 because you'd need more paint than less?
Yes, this is what, absolutely. This is exactly what I was going to explain. You're right. So I was saying, absolutely, Lutando, you were finishing off what I wanted to say. So I was saying, when you have a job to do and you need to finish the job, and you work out that you need 18,34 liters of paint, and the question says, work out how much paint you need, round off to the nearest liter, and you round off to 18, is that going to finish the job? No, it won't. All right, you're going to leave off some area. You need 18.34, you only got 18. The question says round off to the nearest liter. You're doing what the question asked. So what they usually do in situations like this is they don't use the words round off to the nearest liter. They say round. They'll use the words, they should use the words round up
Okay.
to the nearest liter. They should, if they said the question properly, they should say round up to the nearest liter. Because in this question, if you chop some off, you won't have enough. So even if you had 18,01, even if this number here was 18,04, all right, I know it's small, and you round down to 18, you still don't have enough. So even if it's 18,04 and they say round up, you should still go to 19 liters. It's a lot more than 18,04. I know you'll have a little bit of paint extra, but you'll finish the job. All right. So you should be in cases like this where you need something to complete a job. For example, also when you're tiling the floor of a kitchen or something like that, they say work out how many tiles you need. Don't ever round down. You need to round up. Okay. So don't ever go down. Always go up to the next liter or the next square meter of tiling, because you need to finish the job. All right. So make sure you have enough to finish the job. All right. So the question should have said round up to the nearest liter to finish the job. You must know you got to round up. If you don't, you're not going to have enough to finish the job. All right. Please remember that. Lutando, excellent. Excellent work. Well done.
Right.
Nompumelelo, you have a question? I see you unmuted. Okay.
No,
All right. Let's go down to the last one. Okay, I'm going to skip that one. I want to come down to this question. Okay, here we go. An open top fish tank has the following dimensions. There they are, written in the question and on the diagram. By the way, look what the people put it. Yeah, a picture of some fish. They say, guys, did you know that fish belong in an aquarium? Anyway, Nick, here comes the question. Here comes the question. Determine the total surface area in meters squared of glass used for the tank. Where surface area, now, I don't know if you can see, but there should be something here. The formula, which is I've put this sweating face here like, hey, guys, where's the formula? There is a formula. I've hidden it. I'll show it to you. I want to know if you guys can do this without the formula. You will always get the formula. But I want to know if you can do this without the formula, because the formula they gave you is wrong. I've hidden it. I'll show it to you at the end, but I've hidden it for this. I want to see if you guys can do this without the formula. All right. So we need to know the total surface area of the glass. Careful, because it's an open top fish tank, which means it's missing one of its sides. There's a clue. I know it's not fair. Tando, length times breadth and height. That's going to give you volume. Hey, we're looking for surface area. I'll write the surface area formula for a rectangular prism. Surface area for a rectangular prism. I'll give you the original formula for a whole rectangular prism. Length times breadth plus 2 length times height plus 2 breadth times height. Okay. But I'm warning you, be careful, because this is an open top fish tank. I want to see if you guys can figure it out. The other dimensions, there's a formula. I'm not saying it's the right one. I'll show you the one they gave in this question after you've tried this. All right. So there's the formula that you can use, but don't, I'm not going to say anything else. It's an open top fish tank, ladies and gentlemen. Be careful. Let's see if you can work it out. It's an open top fish tank. Yes, they will give you a formula in the exam, but I want to see if you guys can figure it out without a formula in front of you. There's something on the side, but be careful. It's an open top fish tank. And Kia's sighing because she's like, Dale, you should never have told them. It's reminded them. I know that's, I know what that was for. Just going to quickly shorten this equation. I will come back. All right, let me go back. There we go. All right. With an answer there. All right. Tana, you're close. Tana, you're close. The last little bit there, you're trying to figure that last little bit out. You close with your formula. Ci amo. Ci amo dropping answers instead of emojis.
Tiama has rebranded. Okay.
Yeah, this is the new Ci amo. All right, we're getting answers thick and fast. I'll give you one more minute, then we're going to show you how I do it, and I'm going to show you the formula that they gave us here. And this was in a matric document that I think one of the provinces gave as to help with the finals. That one of the provinces gave. All right, we got answers coming in thick and fast. Okay, you keep going. I'm going to start you at the bottom, and we'll meet in the middle. Okay, so we need surface area. All right, I'm going to say 2. I'm going to say my length is this 2,5 here. The breadth is the 2, and the height is 1,5. All right, so I'm going to say my length for the bottom rectangle. In fact, let me do this one first. I'm going to do the front face of this tank. All right, that means it's length times height. All right, so length times height for the front face and the back face. There's 2 of them. Plus, I need 2 of this side one on this side and the one on this side. I need 2 of those. So that's breadth times height. Okay. And then at the end here, I need the bottom of the tank. But I don't want the top because it's open topped. So not 2 in front of the brackets. I just need 1 rectangle, which is length times breadth. Okay. Now I'm going to sub in all my numbers and then press equals. Okay. So it's 2,5. I'm leaving the unit out here. Please forgive me. And it's 1,5. And it's 2 times 1,5. And then I don't need 2. I just need a 2,5 times 2. All right. So the missing thing here is because there's no top to the tank, you don't put a 2 in front of that last bracket. You just need 1, the base. Okay. So let's chuck this onto the calculator and see what we're getting. All right. 2,5 times 1,5 plus 2 times 1,5 plus, I love using brackets, 2,5 times 2. All right, that should be all of it. Getting an answer of 18,5. All right, equals 18,5 meters squared. All right, that's a word. So if you leave the top off, you should get 18,5. Okay, check what I have there. Check what you have. That's what we should be getting 18,5. If you put the top on, you might be getting 20, something. All right. So those guys that are getting 20s, 23,5. I think that one there, 23,5. Those guys that are getting 23,5 is because you added the top of the tank. You put a 2 at the end here. But you don't need a 2 at the end. You don't need 2 rectangles at the back. You just need the base of the tank. The top, there's no lid on the top. Hey, they say it's an open topped tank. Okay. Now, check out this formula. Where is it now? Look at this formula. What's wrong with it? Can you see the error in that formula on the screen? Look at the formula they gave for this thing. What's wrong? Can you guys see? What's wrong in that formula? Can you guys see? And then we're going to say good night. Kia's going to put the quiz links up soon, and someone can tell me what is wrong with that formula. Raise your hand. Come online and tell me what is wrong with the formula. So they don't put the 2 in front. Yes. They're saying +2. Yes. They're saying +2. You see there, they say length times breadth +2. It needs to be length times breadth times 2. That's the mistake. Yes.